Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that every form of entertainment has disappeared. No phone, no YouTube, no Netflix, no music, no games, no books, no social media, nothing. You're sitting alone with your thoughts. For an hour, it might seem peaceful. After 3 hours, you'd probably start looking for something to do. After a day, most people would feel restless. After a week, many would describe the experience as torture. But now, imagine living your entire life like that. Not for a week, not for a month, for every single day of your existence. That's exactly how every human who lived for more than 99% of our species' history spent their lives. No screens, no recorded entertainment, no endless stream of content competing for attention. And yet something strange happened. They weren't bored, at least not in the way we are. In fact, ancient humans may have experienced boredom far less often than modern people do. And understanding why could reveal something surprising about the human brain itself. Because boredom isn't just the absence of entertainment. It's a signal, a feeling created by your brain when it believes there is something more important you should be doing. Today, that signal is constantly confused, but for ancient humans, it may have worked exactly as nature intended. To understand why, we need to travel back roughly 50,000 years. You're standing near a campfire as the sun begins to disappear beyond the horizon. There are no cities, no roads, no artificial lights. As darkness spreads across the landscape, the world changes completely. Predators become active. Temperatures drop. Visibility disappears. The day is over. And unlike modern humans, you cannot simply continue your normal activities indoors. For most of human history, daylight determined everything. When the sun rose, people worked. When it set, most activity slowed dramatically. That sounds boring, but here's the first thing modern people misunderstand. Ancient humans didn't have free time in the way we do. Survival itself filled nearly every hour. Food didn't come from a refrigerator. It had to be found. Water didn't come from a tap. It had to be collected. Shelter didn't already exist. It had to be maintained. Clothing didn't come from a store. It had to be made by hand. Even the simplest tasks required enormous amounts of effort. A stone tool might take hours to shape correctly. A spear could take days. A warm animal skin cloak might require weeks of work. Everything around you represented labor. And because survival depended on those objects, there was always something useful to do. Anthropologists studying traditional hunter-gatherer societies noticed something fascinating. When people weren't actively hunting or gathering food, they didn't simply sit and stare into space. They repaired tools, prepared materials, taught children, practiced skills, shared stories, observed nature, planned future movements. There was always another task waiting, and many of those tasks required concentration. Think about flint knapping, the process of shaping stone into tools. One wrong strike can ruin hours of work. Ancient toolmakers had to focus intensely. Archaeologists have found evidence of individuals spending countless hours producing blades, spear points, scrapers, and knives. To modern eyes, it sounds repetitive. To them, it was meaningful. Because every tool increased the chances of survival, and the human brain loves meaningful work. That's an important point. Research shows boredom often appears when people feel disconnected from purpose, not merely when they lack activity. Someone can be extremely busy and still feel bored. Someone else can spend hours doing a difficult task and feel completely engaged. Ancient humans lived in a world where almost every action had an obvious purpose. You weren't organizing spreadsheets. You were creating the knife that might help feed your family next week. The connection between effort and outcome was immediate, visible, real, and that changed everything. But survival tasks alone don't explain the entire story, because eventually the work ended. The hunting party returned. The fire was burning. Food was cooking. Darkness covered the landscape. What happened then? This is where things become really interesting. Around that fire, something emerged that may have shaped human civilization itself. Anthropologists studying modern hunter-gatherer groups found that evening conversations often shift away from practical matters and toward storytelling, myths, songs, and shared experiences. A firelit camp became the world's first theater, the world's first classroom, the world's first social network. Storytelling required participation,